processing. All right, here we go. We've got our second chance of wintry weather coming up for 2024. Starts tomorrow morning. Let's talk about what's going on. We've got a big system sitting over the central U.S. This overall is a much more powerful storm compared to the one that we had last week for the U.S. For us, though, from a snowfall perspective, this may be a little bit weaker. Let's talk about what we've seen so far, what we're going to see this night, and we're going to see by tomorrow morning. Right now, we still have a lot of rain across Arkansas and parts of eastern Oklahoma, but we are slowly drying out. Today was a doozy. It was rainy. Sometimes it was pretty heavy. Sometimes we had even rumbles of thunder. Sometimes in the mountains, we had a little bit of a rhyming take place, a little bit of an icy top to some of the trees, way, way, way high up there. But we've picked up about a ½ inch to a full inch of rainfall. The rain is slowly coming to an end, though. You're watching some of this drier air come into the center of the low pressure itself. This is the center of this whole storm, where you see it kind of spiraling right towards the west side of Oklahoma City. As this low moves east and eventually kind of northeast, we're going to see some clearing skies, at least a little bit overnight tonight. Guys, we are getting a break. There will still be some wind, and it's going to be cool, but we're not going to drop below freezing until tomorrow morning. We've got several hours where hopefully we can dry out. We can dry out the roads for two big reasons. Number one, we want to dry out the roads so that there's not too much refreezing tomorrow. We could get some scattered snow, but we don't want some ice layer trying to form. So that chance is lower because of the drier air coming in tonight. Number two, it gives our salt crews that work so hard and those plows a chance to actually lay treatment down. They haven't been able to do it yet because it's been raining all day. If they put it on, it would just wash away with all the rainfall. But we're going to get a break for a while, a few hours into the night. Up until about 4 or 5 a.m., we'll be able to continue to put that salt treatment and that beet juice brine across western Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma in places that they see fit. Then we get some snow chances. So we are entering a quick break. It's almost as if it's halftime before snow chances start to roll in. You're watching some of the rain across 5 country, really picking up there in Johnson County. Got a pretty good batch headed right towards Clarksville, but that'll be it for the heavy rain. We've already dried out in Fort Smith, other than a couple misty showers and a little bit of drizzle. Northwest Arkansas, very light rain. That'll slowly come to an end, and you can see those clouds trying to break off towards the west. There's still a light shower every once in a while, but the heavy rain, the consistent rain, will be over here very shortly if it's not already over in your county. Poteau, we're getting a little bit of that rain headed towards Kavanaugh and Poteau Mountain. This is what we picked up throughout the day. This is just taking a look at radar data and then kind of adding it up throughout the day. Picked up about a ½ inch to an inch over pretty much all of 5 country. Sometimes a little bit right next to that inch there in southern Madison County, western Sequoia County, where you see those darker greens. You cross over the state line there in Delaware County. We actually picked up 2 inches just a little bit west of Siloam Springs. So we go from the rain and the wind, which, by the way, strongest wind gust, as I've checked about an hour and a half ago, in northwest Arkansas was 61 miles per hour. We're in that tropical storm force mode at times today. In the River Valley, we had a 49 mile per hour wind gust there in Johnson County. It's been very windy at times today. And now we go from a wind advisory and sometimes a high wind warning to winter weather advisories for parts of 5 country, mainly north of the Arkansas River, mainly northwest Arkansas, and then northern Johnson County is also included. Temperatures right now, we've got upper 30s, low 40s. We're going to slowly watch our temperatures drop to about 35, 36, 37, waking up tomorrow morning. So we actually don't plummet our temperatures tonight because we still have a pretty decent southeast wind trying to hold our temperatures in place. That helps us out, kind of like we talked about. The wind helps dry out the roads first off, so that's good. At least for most of us, it should dry off a lot of the road. But then number two, it prevents the temperature from actually dropping below freezing to cause that refreezing effect. So it's fairly mild, I guess you could possibly say. From a winter storm perspective, we're on the positive side there of the freezing mark, but 40s and upper 30s across Northwest, same story in the River Valley. Waking up tomorrow morning, right as the snow is trying to come in, we'll start off with a couple raindrops, quickly transitioning over to snow showers. We'll be just next to or a little bit above freezing. There could be a little bit of that sleety, grapple mixture there on the leading edge as the snow comes in. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts you've been waiting for. Timing, when am I going to get some snow? And how much snow am I going to get? Let's talk about it. First off, we're going into this dry period, which is great from a road treatment standpoint. But then starting tomorrow morning, we probably have about a 10% chance there right around 4 o'clock, but 5, 6 a.m., we'll watch some of that scattered snow flurry activity come in. And there could be some heavier bursts at times, especially in northwest Arkansas. We probably peak those snow showers around 8 to 9 o'clock. So some of that does include the morning commute. Expect some travel problems tomorrow morning. If we don't get any travel problems, we're just lucky. Maybe the treatment really, really works, or maybe the snow flurries are a little bit weaker. That would be good news, but we are watching for travel problems tomorrow morning. There could be school disruptions. That is, once again, a school district choice. We don't forecast school delays or cancellation, but of course we can tell you there's a chance. So watch tomorrow morning. What's cool about tomorrow morning is that we've got a lot of crews that went to bed early tonight so that they can wake up tomorrow bright and early, additional morning crew folk, so that we can have eyes and ears on the roads and on not just on I-49 or I-40, but get on some of the secondary roads to kind of see how they're doing. So we'll be watching that in the morning. So wake up with us. We'll show you what the roads are looking like. We'll show you where the snow bands are and where they're not. And we can track, we call it nowcasting, where we show you where they're going to the next hour or two to help you plan your morning. As you're trying to get to school, trying to head to work, you're just trying to start your day. The scattered snow showers all the way until about lunchtime. By 1 or 2 o'clock, I think most of them dissipate, will dry out. We may even see a bit of sun in that western sky tomorrow evening as this whole storm system pulls away. So you're looking at Futurecast, rain getting out of here. Hopefully we can break up the clouds a little bit. The more we can break them up, the more we can get kind of the dry air to start to move in, kind of an indication of some of that dry air. But then tomorrow morning, 4 a.m., most of us are still dry, but the clouds will be on the increase again. The break will be over. And then 5, 6 a.m., some of those snow showers crossing in over the state line. If you notice how the heavier bands and the wider bands will be in northwest Arkansas, reason why, low pressure will be pulling off to the north, so you've got to go farther north to the center of the core of energy to really even produce the lift to create these snow showers. You head south in the river valley, there won't be as much lift in the atmosphere. We could get some snow flurries, but the higher impacts will be in northwest Arkansas. There could be some slick spots, especially in the mountains and all across the northwest Arkansas metro. And then throughout the day, we're really on the backside. We'll see what the clouds can spit out. But here's the thing. Here's a couple differences with this storm system compared to last week. First off, it's over a much longer time window. We're talking about snowfall trying to arrive right around 5, 6 a.m., but it could last up until about 1 p.m., maybe 2 p.m. if it lingers just a little bit longer, compared to getting all the snow in 2 hours with a quick burst, massive snowflakes, big travel problems there for an hour or two, and then after that, it was completely fine. The roads melted. It seemed like almost instantaneously. I got a cup of coffee as we were out, and then by the time we walk out, the roads were pretty much fine. That was the story much of Friday, but still caused a lot of problems because of the timing of the snow. This time, the window's longer, but the snow won't be as intense most likely, and the snowflakes will be a little bit smaller. We've got them riding that north wind, so you get a little bit less of the supersaturation, and you've got a little bit of a colder temperature, so the dendrites won't be nearly as big. We had some huge honkers there on Friday, but they'll be a little bit smaller coming up for your Tuesday morning. So scattered showers lasting into about 2, 3 o'clock, and then we dry out, and then we try to break up the clouds there in that western sky. All right. How much snowfall are we getting? This is our best guess. Of course, wake up with us tomorrow morning. We'll show you where the snow is. We'll show you, hey, we are headed in this direction, or we've got more. It's not doing very much. This is, of course, our best guess. River Valley is probably the toughest one because we're trying to figure out where the southern edge of those snow showers should be because of that rising motion, something called isentropic lift that we're trying to analyze right now. So went ahead and just put a dusting in spots. I know that's super vague, but that's probably what we're going to have. Some of us have a little bit. If you live higher up, maybe on Cavanaugh Hill, Poto, there in Sugarloaf, and then Poto Mountain itself, Mount Magazine, Blue Mountain, we could have a little bit more snowfall too. Once you get north of the Arkansas River, north of I-40, we've got a decent chance to try to get up to an inch. Many of us getting a ½ inch, many of us just getting an inch. There's not a huge difference between a dusting and an inch from a forecasting standpoint, to be honest, but visually with our eyes, we think, an inch, wow, okay, we did pretty good compared to a dusting, but hard to tell. 1 to 2 inches possible in the mountains. We're just higher up. We have a little bit of a colder base to start off with on the tops of those ridges. So let's talk about more of the impact, what we're thinking. So we think generally you could get maybe a dusting, maybe even up to an inch or so. Very similar to what we had last time, but just over a longer period. So what does that mean? Widespread slick spots possible in northwest Arkansas, maybe isolated slick spots in the river valley, just because we've got better chances for snow and over a longer time period in northwest Arkansas. And here's the other thing. We're not going to see temperatures warm too much. They're on the back side of the snow like we had last time. Remember last time we had 42s, 43s, 44s popping up. A couple hours after the snow, just completely melted everything. This time, our temperature will stay steady in those low and mid 30s and then drop. So there could be some melting on the roads if you get more tires to heat them up with friction. But from a weather standpoint, there's nothing to really melt the snow other than ground temperatures. So we may see some snow lingering throughout much of the day, just depending on how much you get. But it's not going to melt as quickly, probably we think, as the last round. Now, snowfall rates might be a little bit lighter. There could be some bursts that, of course, we'll track for you. And there's also possibly a longer time window of some of this snow that we've been talking about. So it's just kind of drug out what kind of impacts. It's not as if you wake up, you look out your window, you see, hey, it didn't do anything. You go take your shower, you put on your clothes, you head into the car, like, where did this inch come from? That chance is probably low compared to what happened on Friday. But then there's still, of course, a chance for travel disruptions and school disruptions, something that we'll give you more information on tomorrow morning. And then we're not done. After that, we do dry out. We have some 50s. Should be a nice middle part of the week. Another storm system comes in Friday. Don't have a map for it right now, but I can tell you we're expecting probably scattered rain showers coming up late Thursday night and into Friday morning, and then at some point we should probably switch to snow as temperatures drop. We'll be in the 40s in the morning, and then we'll probably drop a little bit in the afternoon. It could be another ½ inch to an inch kind of scenario. Doesn't look like something major for us, but what's major about this storm may not be the snowfall for us because it may be farther north, but it's the cold air that's coming behind it. Look at some of these temperatures. We've got highs below freezing starting on Sunday, right at freezing Saturday. Then Monday, we don't even get to the 20s. And if we can get a storm system coming through, which looks like it's possible, there's no question on whether we get snow or not, other than if the track moved. But from a rain or snow perspective, trying to figure out what type of precipitation you get, this point, this is kind of like one of those snow systems you get in Minnesota or the Dakotas. It's going to be cold, and it's going to be pure snow if we can get that. But that's still a ways away. We'll see how things change. But what we can tell you, there's a good sign that we just get a lot colder. And there's a magic, not a magic, but a certain threshold that we look for in terms of pipes bursting, okay? Especially for here in Arkansas and Oklahoma on our infrastructure with our houses and how they're built and how they're protected from the winter. It's a little bit different up north, a little bit different threshold for pipes bursting. But here, generally, you got to watch out at a temperature of 20 degrees or lower for more than 5 or 6 hours. There's chances that we drop below freezing and then we don't go above freezing for, or sorry, the 20-degree mark. There's a chance that we drop below 20 and we don't even hit the 20-degree mark for at least maybe 18 to 24 hours in the River Valley, maybe 36 hours in northwest Arkansas. So there could be some pipes bursting maybe Saturday night, but definitely more Sunday night and Monday night as the coldest air comes in. So really cold air on the way. Got 2 wintry systems. At least the wintry systems are a little bit on the weak side, but still enough to cause travel problems. We've got winter weather advisories again tomorrow in northwest Arkansas, then in the River Valley. But that could change. We'll let you know. It just looks like the bulk of it stays in northwest, and there could still be slick spots pretty much anywhere across 5 country. We'll track them. We'll let you know where we're seeing those slick spots tomorrow morning, bright and early. Stay with us. We'll have more updates throughout the rest of this evening and into tomorrow morning. Make sure you keep it here, keep it local. As always,